Hey, how's it going? Today is 13th of September and it's Friday. So I can, I don't know, it can be a good day, I guess, but you know what? It should be a good day. That this is the math, I guess. Today we're gonna be taking a look at Denmark. So again, we were taking a look at the infrastructure, some of those projects, and what was happening with Turkey. And we were discussing some of the plans and taking a look at Turkey. Let's do very similar to perhaps structure and everything what Denmark is doing. It would be slightly different compared to other governments. They might have slightly different approach. But either way, let's first I have gathered a number of articles so we can take a look at those. We're going to be taking a look at hard infrastructure and the way how Denmark is approaching some of those areas. What we're going to be trying to capture have a sense, right? So not necessarily we would have enough time to take a look at everything in necessary detail. And as well as the markets is constantly moving and changing, right? We're gonna be taking a look at, or starting by taking a look at the Denmark logistical companies. So that might be a private businesses. Again, I'm not supporting any of those businesses. And overall, we're gonna be just briefly taking a look at the market, and that could be a starting point, right? But not necessarily. And So overall, that would be a number of companies, right? So I managed to find at least six top companies that are performing in the market when it comes to logistics, as well as we can overall try to understand Denmark overall processes, right? When it comes to global port operations, there are a number of companies that do operate those, but they do operate as businesses and less than acquiring or purchasing land, right? Perhaps other governments do that instead, right? As well as the Danish maritime influence. I believe they do have a very strong maritime sector, and I believe shipping of goods, that's just another way of making most of skills and knowledge, right? When it comes to military bases in Denmark, information that I managed to find that will be Denmark is part of NATO, so that will be defense, as well as when it comes to operating number of external territories, so that will be Greenland and Faroe Islands. So quickly, I was taking a look at the map where those are, which is kind of interesting. So it might look like outposts, right? So as well as Arctic, and perhaps they might, if not right now, in the future, Denmark might be considering establishing some of those opportunities similar to what Norway is doing, right? So I thought I'll touch on that, and from there we can briefly take a look at the market and some of the moves that have been made in the market when it comes to some of those businesses, right? As well as some of those articles that would be perhaps what's happening right now, and it's just dollars, right? And value of the dollar, as well as against value of the gold and some of those things, and how things are changing. Once that been said, we can progress and something that we were taking a look at previously, increased interest in nuclear powered. Uh, we were taking a look at UK. Is something that UK is interested, then that will be overall carbon footprint, and that alternative technologies, including nuclear power submarines, and potentially expanding from there. Perhaps Denmark is looking at shipping container sector. There might be some opportunities there. If not right now, perhaps in the future, since some of those companies have issues studied in nuclear power container shipping, right? As well as I believe perhaps Germany is taking a look at this market, right, as well. But I couldn't find anything when it comes to nuclear. And Germany, I can't find anything. Perhaps there's something there. I would say they should. Germany should take a look at that. But either way, let's progress to the next article. Then talking about some of the services available on the world stage, we cannot go without taking a look at the Red Sea and what's happening there, increasing distance for around 10 days or so. since entire number of vessels and all this kind of things by increasing the distance by at least 10 days, increasing cost caused by fuel, crew oil, and potential insurance and other areas, right? As well as to solve this problem, the entire problem might be very complex, but it's something that was noted 3 days ago. So I thought I'll mention it, but we don't have enough time to cover this article. Let's progress to the next one, right? Last article that we're going to be taking a look at purchasing, right? That would be potentially selling off some of those companies. But before we do that, Marx, that would be Danish company, and who were considering purchasing German company, a logistics company that would be based in Germany. So they have pulled out for whatever reason. There's another company, so that's where we have started, right? And we're gonna be taking a look at this article. So DSV, that would be a logistical company based in Denmark, who have recently acquired a company that will be a logistical company based in Germany, who for massive price, right? That would be 15.9 billion dollars, right? And something that happened an hour ago. So let's take a look at what would be happening, right? Entire sector. It's before reading this article, we can set things up, right? So entire sector is completely changing, right? Since with AI technologies and powering and predictive analytics for parcel deliveries, all this kind of things, as well as perhaps new people would need to come in, or those people would need to have some of the background when it comes to technology and understanding coding for at least perhaps been with the industry for at least 2 years. So the entire sector would need to be different compared to perhaps where things were. So there's a lot of things happening in the sector, right? Briefly, right? So let's take a look at some of the information that we will be taking a look at. That would be all cash deal to be financed through equity raising and or debt, as well as transaction expected to close in second quarter of the next year. DSV pledged 1 billion euros investment into Germany, right? A lot of logistical operations will potentially be managed by within Germany, perhaps roads, trains, all these kind of great things, as well as when it comes to doing deliveries by sea. I think they already DSV potentially already have a lot of operations, right? Being from Denmark, right? Has agreed to buy the different companies. So let's keep all the names. The logistical arm of German state rail operations, Dutch Bach, for 14.3 billion euros in a deal that will make it the world's biggest logistical company, which always should be very important, right? The acquisition will be the biggest by a Danish company, and a proposal, there's the name of the company above, Swiss Group, I know I can't pronounce it right, in both volume and the revenue. The all cash transaction will be financed through a combination of the equity raising of 4 to 5 billion euros and the debt financing of DSV said, right? We can reflect on the history, but potentially with the AI, with the new hires and the different operations, potentially with predictive analytics and all these kind of things. Whereas how things were back then, as well as where things are moving to what direction, right? Perhaps worth mentioning, right? DSV switch as which started as a small enterprise of 10 tracks in 1976, said the commercial and operations fit between the two groups will contribute to growth, job creation, and strong financial returns. Again, I'm not promoting any of those companies, right? The where a company have started, as well as the perhaps additional investments into the market would be better long distance, cost effective solutions, as well as warehousing, all this kind of things, right? Briefly, let's focus on perhaps additional investment by Danish company into Germany. I know Germany-based operations have to do 1 billion euros in Germany over the next 3 to 5 years and keep several key jobs in the country. The combined group will have more employees in Germany 5 years from now. I know there's the name of the businesses today. I know Danish company said, right? So potentially they would be taking a look at the entire sector and as I mentioned previously, optimizing entire sector potentially. If trains, most likely in Germany, trains already coming on time, so perhaps they could still add value into different operations, right? Most likely. The deal is subject to regulatory and German minister approval as well as a Dutch, well, there's I can't pronounce right, supervisory board and expected to close in the second quarter of next year. That will be for financial transactions as well as the combined group will have revenue of the 293 billion Danish crowns, which equals to 43.5 billion euros based on 2023 results, with a workforce of around or about 147,000 across more than 90 countries. Massive amount, right? Either way, let's close on that, right? Thanks for watching. See you next one.